We are together now. We are together.
Yes.
Okay. I can see. Oh, Patrick, I can see your hands is up. How? Good evening, Patrick. Patrick. We are together now. We are together.
Yes.
Okay. I can see. Oh, Patrick, I can see your hands is up. How? Good evening, Patrick. I have echo. Patrick. We are together now. We are together.
Yes.
I can see. Oh, Patrick, I can see your hands is up. How? Good evening, Patrick. I have echo. Patrick. Can somebody hear me?
Yes.
Am?
Yes, we can.
Yes. We can.
Class edited.
There is a cat.
Good evening, everyone. Am I stable now?
Yes.
Am I stable? I want confirmation. That I'm good now, so that we can roll. We can go to the nitty-gritty. I apologize for that technical hitch. Unajua hizi vitu za wazungu. Hii wazungu hii maneno yao hii inatusumbua sana wakati mwingine. I can see Patrick, your hand is up. So I want to know that everyone can now hear me and can also see me. Can you?
Yes, we can.
Oh, you can, eh? Very good. Today we are moving. Like lightning because we are flying. So there is no dilly-dallying. The plane is already taking off. Kwa hivyo tujitayarishe. Who is going to be my co-host today? I want a co-host so that we can fly together. Co-host watu yangu. Sasa how come unanilenga? Kunilenga tu. Hey. Huh? The work of a co-host is very simple. The co-host reads the messages that have come to the chat box, because as I continue presenting, today I have a guest speaker. As we continue presenting with my guest speaker, any question that you have, you just put it on the chat box, or you write it somewhere, then you'll ask. We'll have question and answer sessions. And what we do is that because a question you might forget to ask the question, it might also disappear from your memory it's always good to write it down. You can put it on your notebook or you can put it on the chat box. And then the co-hosts will read the questions and we will answer. We will answer the question. So I want to know who is going to be my co-host today to do that. And also once I give them the rights, when there's some noise, they can help me to mute the people who are making noise on the background, or even to remove. When you become a nuisance, tunakutoa. Tukikutoa huwezi rudi. Kwa hivyo ni mzuri, you play by the rules of the game. And the rules of the game are very clear. You keep your mic off. You can put your camera on, but kindly put your mic off, because any noise that comes in your background, even when you don't intend to, it will flow into the room and it is going to be a distraction. So we want to avoid distractions so that we can be able to go through the content for today. Today is very critical, very, very critical, because we are going through the step by step. We have discussed why this is important. We have discussed the advantages of going the other side, at least leaving home. Huwezi kaa tu unazaliwa pahali moja, unasomea pahali moja, unaenda kanisa pahali moja, unaolewa unaoa pahali moja, watoto wako unasomea pahali moja. Hello, hii maneno gani hii? We need to move. We need to have breaks. So I would want us to get courageous and take the opportunities that the president is creating for us, and we go tukafanya kazi huko majuu tutume dollars hapa. Najua shilingi yetu imekuwa very weak sababu we are not producing so much. Na sababu producing has become a bit difficult, why not go out and work there and tutoe hii umaskini Kenya. So that is what I want us to do. So we are 16 people now, and I want us to get started quickly. So who is a co-host?
Okay, I can volunteer, Coach.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jane. Hi, good evening.
Good evening, Coach. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. It's good to have you in the house. Good to have you in the house. Tuko sawa. Tuko sawa. You are now a co-host.
Thank you.
So you can take it over now and get us somebody to do a prayer so that we can invite God's presence in our meeting. So whenever God is involved, things go well. So we always invite God's presence so that as we unpack what we have, it's for his glory. We do everything for his glory, and wherever we are doing his bidding, things don't go wrong. So check it out from there.
Okay, let me request Faith Shona to pray for us. Faith, tafadhali. Faith.
Hello, I'm not Faith, but we can pray. Is it okay?
Okay, all right. I'm seeing your name is written as Faith Shona. Maybe it's a wrong registration.
No, I'm Lucy. Lucy Werimonyokabi.
Oh, Lucy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. So yeah, let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come before thy presence this beautiful evening, thanking you for the gift of life. And most importantly, we want to thank you for this opportunity that you have orchestrated, oh God, for us to hear from Coach, oh God. You have assigned us men and angels, oh God. So this evening, we pray that you may open our hearts, you may open our spirit, oh God, that we may receive that which you intend for us, oh God. Even as you're looking for greener pastures, oh God, may you take domain, oh God. As you're looking for greener pastures, may we also seek you, oh God, that we may get clarity and guidance, oh God. Open our minds that we may receive that which that is important and that we're supposed to get, oh Lord. In a special way, we want to dedicate our speaker, whoever is going to share today, oh God. I pray that you may use them as your vessel, oh God, that they will deliver, oh God. And as they deliver, Jehovah, King of all glory, may you bless them abundantly, oh God. We thank you and we honor you. I want to commit every participant, oh God, those who are yet to join, oh Lord. May you connect them, oh God, that they may join in and listen, oh God. We thank you and we honor you. And when we come to the end of this beautiful session, honor and glory shall come back back unto thee. We thank you and we honor. In Jesus' name we do pray, believing and trusting in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Lucy.
Amen. Amen.
You're welcome.
All right. So, Coach, you said the time is short, so over to you. Back to you, Coach.
Thank you very much. I can see Patrick has a problem. Can you try to sort out Patrick? He has written on the chat box that he has a problem. Can we confirm that he's okay?
Patrick. Okay. Someone assist me on how to get the audio system active. I can't hear anything.
Can you hear us, Patrick, now? Patrick, are you hearing? Can you talk? He appears to be having a problem on his side, but can everyone else hear? Is everyone else hearing? Can I see by a show of hand that you are hearing? You can go to the reaction, and if you're hearing and you're following without any hitches, let us know. Maybe the problem is on his side. I can see people are okay. I think then Patrick could be having a problem on his side. Let me try to get somebody who can maybe try to assist him outside outside the session.
Okay.
I don't know how I can go to his Nini. You know, I'm not a tech guy. Me, I'm a node guy. I'm not a techie guy. So the techie guys wanajua kutumia njia zingine za kuaccess. Sijui team viewer, sijui nini naitwa nini. They know many things. Me, I'm not in that level. Okay, let's lower our hands now. Let's lower our hands. He'll be taken care of. You can be engaging people a bit. Get somebody, Nini Jane, and be engaging people. Ask them where they are from, their expectations. Just get me their expectations so that at least I can be able to get Patrick helped. Patrick is our guest speaker, and I would want to assist him to come through.
All right. All right. Let me start with Kate Ntauti. Have I pronounced your name right, Kate? Your second name, Kate?
Yes.
Yes, Kate. Good
Yes.
evening.
Good evening to you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you, Kate?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. So what are your expectations?
I want to know, as an immigrant, how can you work in a foreign country without a work permit? Because I wanted to go to Canada. I was actually supposed to relocate to Canada, but I did not go. How can you be able to handle that? Maybe if you have a visa for visitors, how are you going to handle such kind of things in a foreign land? Yes, so because I saw many Kenyans, they had so many challenges in Canada. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So for you, it's more of what you want to find out, yes?
Yes.
It's more of you want to find out how you can work when you only have a visitor's pass, a visitor's visa, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
We'll that to the people to tell us, to the experts, yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. All right, let's go to Andrew Kamanu. Andrew Kamanu, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. How are you?
Yes, we're very well. Thank you, Andrew. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Fine, thank you.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to today's session. I'm looking forward to seeing how to handle airports and travel documents once you arrive, just to make sure that you have everything you need there. I've seen people going all the way to the US, to Canada, only to be turned back here.
Yes, it's true. Yeah.
Just to make sure that if you have a clear passage in Kenya, you also have a clear passage on that side as well.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Andrew. All right, we will pass that over. All right, let's go to somebody. JM. Yeah, it's initials JM. Who's JM? Registered as JM. JM, are you there? Okay, let's move on to Daniel Kemani. Daniel? Daniel, can you hear me? Okay, Lillian. Lillian Jerry.
I'm right here, Jane. How are you?
Yeah.
My expectation tonight,
Yes,
is to be enlightened more and have more knowledge on how I'm gonna travel. I'm really looking forward to traveling to the US.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to know more on how to do it. Yes.
Okay. All right. So
Thank you.
Your ears will be all open for that, eh?
My ears are very open to that. Yes.
All right.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lillian. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And there we go. And there we go. Lillian,
Okay.
Yes.
can you see my screen?
When I see that, I feel excited.
Welcome very much. No, we need to start flying. I hope your bags are packed.
I'm already there in my mind already. I'm ready to go.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ntauti, you have raised your hand. Do you want to say something or ask? Ntauti? Ntauti, I think maybe it could be a problem. It could be a mistake. You can lower your hand if you are not wanting to say something. Jane, can you tell me what the people have said? So that I want to start at past, and it's just about 30 now. So tell me, what did the people who talked before Lillian say?
Okay, that was one of them was Tauti, the Kate.
Okay.
She's asking, can you work in a foreign country without a work permit with only a visitor's visa? That's Kate. That's Tauti. That's a question she has.
Visitors pass. Foreign country, all or just any foreign country?
Mainly talking about Canada.
Canada.
Yes.
Okay. So I will not be able to say so much about Canada. Is there any other person who had asked something, expectation?
Yeah, there was Andrew Kamanu. He just said he's looking forward for the session to be able to know how to handle travel documents.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, travel. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Then Lillian Jerry, she wants to be enlightened and know more on how to do this.
Okay.
That's how we had gotten.
Okay. Very good. So I want us to get into the starting point now. It is already time to get up close, because we will. If I just flashback, just a small flashback. Do we have anybody who is coming for the first time? Can I see by a show of hands? I normally ask people to confirm if this is the first time you are coming for these talks. Every Tuesday we have these talks, and most of the people I know, they are repeat clients. We've been together, we have been on a journey. The whole of Q3 I have been sharing tidbits about America. I started when I was in the US in June, and July, then I came back August. So I have been in the US and I have been sharing tidbits from that end to encourage people and to make them ready for the journey if they want to get there. So I have shared the opportunities there are to get there. I shared that there are states like Nebraska that is paying people to migrate there. If you migrate there, they'll pay you. And now with the globalization, global citizenship, which you have done, I did two talks about that. And I shared many countries which are paying people to go to their country because of depopulation. So we have discussed many opportunities that you can use to get to the US and to get to many countries, Europe, France, Italy, Spain, Germany, and many other countries. And the opportunities are available, terms and conditions apply. If you follow those, you'll be able to do that. We discussed going to business, and we went for business this year. There was a business tour across the Americas to meet Kenyans living in diaspora so that we can be able to get along with them, and we learn what business we can do with them. I invited people that accompany me, lakini najua Kenya wanapenda kukaa hapa. So that's a choice anyway. It's okay. Si lazima mtoke nje, wala wanataka kukaa hapa pia, huku ni kwenu, ni nyumbani, kaeni tu hapa na hasala. So it's okay. So I shared that you can go as a student. There are student visas, and we need a student exchange program. I shared that also, and it's ongoing, the student exchange program. We have a chat for that. Anyone who has a child who is between Form 1 and Form 3, they can actually go to America for 1 year exchange program. We shared that. And I have got the person who is handling that. I came with that last year. We shared that you can actually go on holiday. Oh yes, America is a good place to go for holiday. Hello, Tennessee Valley. Ile vitu ulisoma kwa geography, you go and witness them. Go to Florida. Hello, Florida is sweet. Go to Kennedy Center, where they straight to the moon. No, when you hear these guys who are going to the moon, all of them, hata watu wa China, watu wa kutoka Russia, astronauts, they come to the US. That's where they are blasting to the moon. And now it has become easy because individuals, you don't need to be an astronaut to go to the moon. Sir Richard Branson went to the moon, Virgin. And Jeff Bezos also did it. He went to the moon with her Blue Origin. And hii jamaa mwingine wetu, our own brother from South Africa, anaitwa Elon Musk. He has his SpaceX going to the moon. So imekuwa kawaida. Would you want to, watu wengine hawajaienda na ndege na watu wanaenda majuu. Unajua majuu si Amerika, watu wanaenda majuu kwa kwingine. So kama wewe unaregarega tu hapa, unaregarega tu hapa Kenya chini, unaendaga tu chini tu na gari ati SGR, ukiingia SGR ndio umeenda sana. I want to ask you, where upgrade, do something else. So today we want to upgrade and take it to another level. And because we want to get this up close, I want us to jump into today's session. So the journey to America. The reason for going, working. Kwanza jobs, there are so many jobs in America, by the way, and I have shared that. Because of the jobs that they are there, I've been asking people, can you take these jobs and you do them and bring the money home? So I don't know how we are going to do this, because unlocking the jobs potential in the US. This, I have talked about this. I have told people how many jobs there are, and they are paying well. All these jobs are paying of $20 and up per hour, US dollar, not Zimbabwe dollar. Zimbabwe dollar. No, I don't mean that. I mean USD. So can you calculate 20 per hour and you decide how many hours you want to work? If you say you want to work 10 hours, they're even happier. But the law says 8 hours. You cannot be forced to work for more than 8 hours. And the good here thing is, if you work for any extra hour after 8 hours, you are paid 1.5 times. So if you start out with $20 per hour and you work for 10 hours, 2 of the hours you're going to be paid at $30 per hour. And you can work 12 hours. Kwani wale watu wa Rongai mpo? Wale watu naishi Rongai kabla wafike town asubuhi saa 2. What time do you leave home? I always ask, what time unatoka nyumbani saa ngapi? Ndio uende town na ufike on time. Alafu jam ya Nairobi ya jioni. Na COVID ilifanya vizuri kuja. I was getting stressed navigating jam every day, morning jioni. In the US you are paid. Those hours unapoteza kwa barabara hapa, you are paid. Because every hour you work, you get paid. This place, surely, we can get there. And you see all these jobs, all these jobs where they are mechanized. You are not, like now hotel cleaning. They have got machines that they are using. Lawn mowers. See it in a slasher. You don't do it with a slasher. Uko na motorized lawnmowers. Wewe ni kukaendesha tu hapo kitu kazi mzuri, and you're being paid very good money. Drivers, imagine kinyozi kunyoa tu nywele na unaingia college hapo unafundishwa, unaanza kufanya hivyo, unalipwa hizo chapa so why wouldn't you want to get this? And kutengeneza, wajua watu wanapenda beauty. Kama sasa hivi chapa ni mingi America, surely kama unalipwa $20 per hour and you can work 12 hours or 16 hours depending on your interest, utakosaje kwenda kutengeneza ukae mzuri? Pesa uko naye, so unaenda unataka ile kujipondoa, unaenda kupondolewa kujipondoa na kupondolewa ni the same. I don't know. So yani you want to feel good about yourself so unaenda unatengenezwa unakaa maridadi. So saluni uko kucha pedicure, manicure, hiyo vitu zote. So hiyo kazi ni mingi sana, ninafanywa na watu kutoka huko Philippines, watu wana huko finest. Sasa nashindwa kwa nini sisi tusifanye hii kazi. Caregivers with an aging population, this is another area where there's so much demand, and that is what Azima we do. Housekeeping is another critical space that there are so many opportunities. Plumbers, plumbers, kule kila kitu, sprinkler kwa nyumba nini, kila kitu. Plumbers wako na electricians wako na very high demand in the US. Unajua kule wakati wa jua you cannot stay without coolers. Wakati wa baridi wakati wa winter you cannot stay without steamer. Kule kila kitu ni steamer. So electricians wako na very high demand in the US. Security officers. What else do I mention? And you can see, I'm now using this because there are better jobs up there, which you will pay much more money, but this is the best. And this one's economy mingi. Who can't do this, surely? Now, the good thing is that sit utaenda to ukwame hapo, you can upgrade yourself. Unaweza anza na hii, any of this, kwanza hii ndio itakupeleka America, ufanya hii halafu upgrade. Unarudi tu college, unasoma, unatoka hiyo, unaenda hiyo ingine, unatoka hiyo, unaenda hiyo ingine, and you keep on growing, you keep going up. So there is no limit. There is no limit. So the limit is just you. So whatever is limit you, it's just that's not with you. Nani anapiga kelele tafadhali? We say that we put off our mic. Tafadhali put off your mic so that the noise does not come. So limits on your life are those that you have set for yourself. You yourself. Nobody else. So if you want to grow and become a power to reckon with, you have the capacity. Nothing can stop you from this. Kwa hivyo, this time, I want us to see now, we have now decided that we want to go to America. And because we are going to America, we want to see how do we get there? How do we get there? Anybody with a question from there? Before we now get to up close and personal on these other things, is there anybody with a question? Feedback for any question. I would like to take them. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, no? Hello, yes, go ahead.
I can hear you now, but very faintly. Maybe I will have to adjust my volume. Can you hear me well? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you well, loud and clear.
I hope the participants can hear me. I'm sorry I have not been able to be with you from the start, so I don't know how far you've gone. But
no, just relax. Tuko sawa. Hatujaenda mbali.
Okay, thank you.
We're just beginning. So just relax. Let's get started. Yeah. So I think we're good. So we want, if there's no question, I would want to now get started. Can we lower our hands? Caro has a question maybe. Kate Ntauti, I had requested that you lower your hand so that we do not have we don't appear like we're ignoring you. Can you lower your hand, please, kindly? Or you talk to us, ask a question. Maybe you are pointing out to something that we need to know. and I would actually happily oblige. Want to oblige you, whatever you want to share with us.
Maybe I can read what somebody has written here. Daniel Kimani.
Okay.
He's asking, are most Americans racist?
Are most Americans?
Racist.
That one I would like Patrick to answer. Patrick, can you answer that one? If Americans are racists. Patrick. I can assure you that Americans are very good people. They are very, very civil. And in fact, the only bad people in America are Black Americans. They are very proud. Very proud. I have been mistreated in America 1 or 2 times, but by Black Americans. And the kind of mistreatment I noticed that it is too much. There's a time I wanted to go and shave my hair, and Wazungu, they don't know how to nywele ngumu. So there are barbers who specialize on shaving the nywele ngumu. So I was looking for where I can shave my head, and the barber refused. The barber could not be able to shave me. So when I went to ask for a barber, I was told to talk to the Black guys to tell me where they go for shaving. And a Black American refused to talk to me. Si mzungu anaongea na wewe vizuri, lakini the Black American anakuangalia ni kama wewe haupo, yani haupo. He made me feel very bad because even acknowledging you as a human being hataki. So nikasema yenyewe okay, sawa tu, yeye ndiye ako na shida, sio mimi. Shida ni yeye. So Patrick, do you have an experience of racism? No, people are asking here. Somebody asked, are American racists? Patrick?
Hello?
Patrick, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but very faintly.
Faint?
Faintly. I'm trying to adjust my volume. I can hear you kutoka kwa mbali, but it's okay. At least I can hear you.
So you're asking, are American racists? Where do you know America? Patrick, by the way, is an American. He's a Kenyan American, and he stays in America, and he has more experience being in America and working there. So he has a better answer for that. What wanauliza Patrick? Kenyans are Americans racist? How do you live there, and do you feel that you are made to feel that you are a foreigner?
Okay, that is a big question, but it needs first to understand the way the system is there so that you can be able to fit into the system. So maybe, I don't know how to answer that question, but I can say all you need to do is adjust and then conform to the norms of the new place. For example, you find very strange behavior there. One, people don't have that habit of saying, saluting each other, jambo, all that. No, they don't. They just have, everybody is busy. Maybe if they know you, they will say hi, and that is it. You're done for the day. So everybody goes to their business and as usual. But the important thing here is you have to be very cautious to, in whatever move you make. Unlike our local situation here, where you get somebody, you're going to the supermarket, maybe you're going to the cashier, and somebody jumps in the queue, goes ahead of you. That is a very, very, very big mistake that you can make. When you get to a place where people are lining up, you always take the last spot, and then you let your movement progress according to the people who are in front of you. That is one tool. Secondly, always be very cautious when you are with those people, and always don't forget to say, excuse me, if you want to say something, if you want to do something, if if you are really, maybe you commit an offense to somebody, or maybe you touch somebody by mistake, be quick to say, excuse me. They will understand. They might not say, they don't know how to say sorry. You don't say sorry, you say, excuse me. That is the funny thing. You find that the English that you know becomes kind of alien to them. So sometimes you find some funny things. Sometimes they tell you something that you don't know, and it's something that you know. All right. For example, you tell somebody, let us follow the queue. He doesn't know what you're saying. All right. Because they never had the word the queue. The one we are used here. Or you want to use what do you call them here? We call them a lift. They don't call them a lift. They call them lifts. They call them elevators. You see? So there are many areas that you need to be keen on, and then you can be able to catch up. Secondly, if you are lucky enough to have somebody who has lived there, or who's somebody working there, or maybe your host, you'll be able to take you through the spaces so that you can be able to get. The problem that I had the very first time when I went to work there is that they would talk to me, or they would speak to me. I might not be able to catch what they're saying, and when I speak to them, they also don't get what I'm saying, because they say I'm speaking too fast. Well, I am also saying they speak too fast. So you can see now the contradiction here. So the best thing would be, if you have not heard or you have not understood what one has said, you need to say, excuse me, say it slowly. I had one nasty experience. I went to see my daughter at a place called Lancaster, that's south of Dallas. And then I wanted to go to church on Sunday morning. Am I still on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
We're hearing you. Continue.
okay. So I went. I went to my daughter and the husband, the family being. They don't go to Catholic. Service. They would go to Baptist or something. So they Googled. They said, okay, the nearest Catholic church is a place called Lancaster. It's about 2 miles. So they said, okay. The husband said, okay, I will drop you down there, and then when your service is over, I'll come back for you. I said, fair enough. So I went down there. I had very good, my service was good, and of course, at the end of the service, they said, any visitors, so I stood up, they welcomed me, and that was that. It was winter time, and that was in December, it was very cold. So when the service ended, they said, all right, normally they go for breakfast after service. So I went to the parking lot, hoping that my son-in-law would be there, because after 1 hour. But somehow, he hadn't come. So everybody got into their cars, and then they moved out. And I was left standing alone in the parking lot. So one lady, white lady, went and drove back and came and stopped by my side and said, all right, get into the car, I'll take you wherever you're going. And so I did. I got into her car, and she asked me, where are you going? I said, we're going to DeSoto. And she said, do you know how to get there? I said, I don't know. And then maybe you'll be able to know as we drive along. I said, maybe. And then, of course, we kept on driving, and then, of course, I could not know. So she told me, do you have a way of contacting your host? So fortunately, I had my Kenya phone. I had the phone there, so I had to retrieve the number and then called my daughter. And we cannot be able to get. She was trying to get to give direction to the lady, but the lady was unable to get there. So what she did, she took me to one of the big stores called Tom Thumb. Tom Thumb is a chain like Uchumi, which is all over here, a very big one. And then he told me, well, I will leave you down here, and then they can come and pick you there from here. So I was left standing out there, and you know, it is winter, it's very cold. I didn't know that I could go into the store. So I was shivering out there, and then I didn't know what to do. And meanwhile, my son-in-law was on the way, coming, looking for me. So I called back and I said, hey, I called my daughter, I said, now, you're taking too long, I'm freezing. She said, no, you should go. No, I didn't have the phone now. So I got somebody, a man came walking. I told him, excuse me, sir. I was trying to say, okay, can I borrow your phone? And then maybe we can call. And he said, and the guy told me, let me tell you one thing. I come from New York. I don't understand an accent, this accent of this, this Texan accent. Mzungu ananiambia hajui, hasikii vile ninasema. So I told him now, let me go back to my preschool English. I said, excuse me, sir, can I use your phone to call my daughter? Well, of course, you can see how happened. So he said, here you go. He gave me the phone. So I called my daughter and said, she told me, all right, don't stand out, go inside. So I went inside the store, and after some time, of course, then somebody came and picked me. So that is somebody from another corner of the USA, and is not able to understand the accent that is being used around where we are. So that problem is very big, particularly with the African Americans.
Thank you,
You
Patrick.
go to in Florida, cannot communicate. Yeah.
Patrick, I want to interrupt you. There. Patrick, thank you. We were just answering a question, and the person who had answered the question, now you can understand. Americans are very good. They are actually very civil. They will go out of their way to help you. They're normal Americans. Watch out on Trump.
That's all right. That's right. That's true.
They are not like Trump. Wacha na huyo jamaa. Huyo ni kisirani ya mtu. Hata hapa kwetu kuna watu kisirani. So the normal Americans are very good. America is no man's land. They are all type. Kuna Wahindi who are Americans. Yeah. Kuna watu weusi who are Americans. Kuna wa Chinese who are Americans. Kuna Japanese Americans. Kuna watu wa Korea Americans. So when you are there, kuna Italian Americans, kuna Jews Americans. So it's one place that you cannot feel isolated. Yeah. You actually have, you have got everybody around you. So you just need to choose. Of course, there are those who big-headed people who think that they are more human than other human beings, which is not actually a reflection of our America. So I want to tell you that don't fear to go to America. Some people tell me that they want to go to Canada because America are racist. No, they are not. So let me take you very quickly. So what you're going to do is that I'm going to give you the first part of the journey to America, from here until you get to America. Then Patrick will tell us his experience, because he went to America, he was cleared, he stayed there, he got his social security. He's going to tell us how to get social security, how to get a work permit, how to start working, how to get a credit card, how to open a bank account, how to get a driving license. We want to bring it home. By the time we are through, we want to bring it home so that those of you who have already accepted the invitation to become Americans, to go and work in America, and also even how you now become a citizen. He's a citizen now. He will give me that story on how he went that journey. Me, I have not done that. Mimi naenda narudi. Kwa hivyo mambo mingi sijui, na nakaanga kwa hoteli. Sasa ukikaa kwa hoteli swali, wewe sijua mambo ya nchi vizuri kukaa kwa hoteli. Enda kaa na watu. He has been there for 6 years now, and he has been able to navigate all that. So he will be able to tell us firsthand. But for my part, I want us to go through the step by step. From here, the moment you get to JKIA, umepata visa, ticket uko naye, umebook, you will arrive at the airport, now you are now traveling. That is where I want us to start the story. because the biggest part of it is where you'll be changing the flight. Because if you don't go with a direct flight, if you go to any other airline, it's going to go to Emirates. They all go to their countries first. Then they fly to the US or to other destination now. But from here, Nairobi, if you go with KLM, it's going to take to their country. If you go with BA, it's going to take you to their country. If you go with a Qatar airline, it's going to go to their country. So the question here is, how do you navigate once you get to their country to change flight? Na uko peke yako, unajua hawezi kuwa ati unaambia ati your bigger sister akupeleke kwa company, ama your mom kwa company, ama your husband kwa company, halafu arudi. Ticket ni pesa mingi, so utaenda peke yako. Hata labda yeye hajaienda. So I want to unpack this so that at least all of us can be able to become confident, so that we do not fear anything. Now, umefika airport. Na tuseme umebook Emirates. You take an airline. So ukifika airport, once you book the air ticket, what is most important on an air ticket? Okay, you got the date. But what is important is a flight number. And you tell your family the flight number that you are going by. Because anything can happen. Ndege, we're very safe. It's the safest means of transport. It's the safest. There are very few accidents on air as compared to the ground. That's a fact. And the records are there. But accidents do happen. So for tracking, get the flight number and tell your people here what flight that you are going by. And important. And where it is headed to. So you know your departure time and your arrival time the other side. So normally the ticket indicates the time at the place you are arriving. And you see, the hours are changing. The hours are changing. Like now when you're going to America, you see the difference between Nairobi and Europe, most of Europe, especially the western part of Europe, it's about 2 hours. When you go to America, the eastern side is about 8 hours. When you go past there, you get 10 hours, 12 hours. It can be 14 hours difference. So it got changing. So the hour indicated on the ticket, departure time where you are departing from, then the next time is where you are landing, what time you are going to land in Europe for changing flight, ama Middle East. Most of us go with planes which are either going to Ethiopia, or they're going to Middle East, or they're going to Europe, any of the European countries. If you go with the Lufthansa, it's going to go to Germany. If you go to Alitalia, it's going to go to Italy. So if you go if you go with a French Air France, it's going to go to France. So that's the way they do. They go to their country, then they now exchange. So when you arrive with let's say Air France, like I went with Air France this year. When I went to America, I went with Air France. So we went to France. So once you arrive there, you are going now to change from the plane you came with to another one. You arrive at one unit, like now we arrived at unit 2, and we were boarding in unit 4 to go to the US. So how do you change? Hapo ndio kizungumkuti nakuja. So you have to know your terminal. You look at your ticket, it tells you what terminal you'll be boarding from. Even when you're going to the airport here, JKA, you need to know which terminal. The person who is dropping you, either you are relative, your friend, your spouse, whatever, ama a taxi, Uber, you tell them which terminal you are going by. Inaandikwa kwa your ticket. So I'm trying to break this down because I know some people might be going for the first time, and I want to bring it home for you so that you can be able to understand this. Once now you have got into the other side, that is the most important thing. What do you do? What do you do? After checking and confirming from your boarding pass, once you, okay, sorry. In JKA, ukisha check in, you had a ticket. Could be digital. Nowadays you don't print. When you print, unaharibu makaratasi. So you get the digital inakubalika, and it is you scan that one on the scanner from your phone. So charge your phone very well. Make sure that you have charged your phone well, and carry a charger. Carry a charger, and it's good that you get an international charger because ukienda huko majuu socket haizingiani. This is very, very important. Take my word. Socket haizingiani. So beba socket ya charge nayo, sababu sasa ukienda kule socket ikatae kuingia utapata shida. Take USB cable. This USB cable are very important because they are ports. In most places they are ports. If you don't get them, once you arrive at the duty free shop, enda uangalie pahali wanauza chargers so that you can buy the compatible and your place. That is very important sababu simu yako ikizima, you're done. Ukifika airport, look for the Wi-Fi ya hiyo airport. Sababu hii ya Safaricom hapa itakwisha. Your home fiber imekwisha. Upati sasa ya loko. Ukienda kule majuu, most airline nowadays inakuwa na Wi-Fi, but they charge, wanalipisha. Kama hauna credit card, utapata shida sababu hata pesa hawachukui cash money. Most people they want card. Wanataka kuuza na kadi. So tafadhali, when you be traveling, have a credit card and put money in it. It's very, very important. So that at least you're able to. I remember when I went to France, I wanted to take coffee and I couldn't because they were telling me that they don't take cash. And the one who do it also don't take US dollars. They want euros. In Europe, they will take euros. They don't want US dollars. So it is a problem. So you need to actually have this in your system so that you're able to organize. After you have checked in at JKA, umepewa boarding pass. That boarding pass has got information which is very critical. On it, you'll get the gate which you'll be boarding from. The gate you'll be boarding from. So what we'll do is that after you now get in, you have checked in, baggage yako imeenda, uko na your hard luggage. So you will now follow the instructions. Hapa Nairobi ni rahisi sababu unaongea Kiswahili. Hao jamaa watakuonyesha vile utaenda. So if the first time you're not going as a group. If you're going as a group, na kuna mtu ambaye amezoea travel, like when I'm going for business, we go together. So we book together, we go together. But this one for going for work, it could maybe that you're going alone. I'm assuming that you're going alone. Now kuna mtu mwingine kama wewe who has not done this before. So you need to be able to get advice on how to go about this. So after you get the boarding, you move unaenda juu sasa. Normally the checking is on the ground floor, unaenda juu. So ukienda juu, you need to confirm your boarding number, which gate you're going to board in, and there's a ticket and your seat number. Also from the seat number, there's a lot number because the way they do it is that watu wanaingia ndege hapa mbele kwa pilot, next to it unakuanga business class. So how do you ingia kwanza? And from there, they normally compartmentalize the seats so that the people who have the seats are in front, baada muingie nyote muweza mkapake jam pale kwa kuingia na kamlango ni kadogo, wanaingia kulingana na where your seats are. So they have lot 1, lot 2, lot 3. So munaambiwa when you're going to get in. So check on your ticket, see your lot. Once they call your lot, that is when you're going to go. So that you don't usiende kuweka jam kule. Otherwise, wanaingianga watu kulingana na vile seats zimepangwa kwa ndege, and it becomes very easy. So it's an easy way to do it. So after you have confirmed the lot number, now mko kwa ndege, you go and land into the airport. Let's say tumeenda na Air France. After landing in Paris, you are in Paris now. How do you know how to get the airline, where the airline ya kwenda US unaingilia? It's all about numbers. Everything, this is where big data works. From the flight number ni number, your flight number. From your air ticket is a number. From your seat number is a number. Everything is numbers. Kila kitu ni numbers. So your lot is a number. Now we land into France. How do you navigate? Now those airports are big. Some of them you need to go with a tram or a train. Uko chini unaingia uko chini underground, unashoot na train, unaenda kushukia another gate, ndio upende juu tena ukaingia kwa hiyo ndege nyingine, because they have got different units. Now, how do you navigate? Na uko peke yako, hujaienda tena. Numbers are very important. So on your screen, on my screen, you can see these numbers from gate D30 to D47. So if your number is, let's say, is D37. Now umefika hapa, you need to know which side to go. So these ones are the indicators. They show you what direction to go. Don't ask anybody. Just learn how to use the numbers and they'll guide you. Because unauliza mtu ajui kizungu. Wajua huko unavuna mtu anatoka Russia, mwingine anatoka Lithuania, mwingine anatoka Latvia, mwingine anatoka Argentina, anaongea nini Kiportuguese. So you can never know. Sometimes when I started traveling, I used to think that wazungu wataki kuongea na mimi sababu mimi ni mtu mweusi. Don't feel intimidated and don't feel like at wewe ndio unaonewa. But they wakuelewi. So you think that wanakataa kuongea na wewe lakini wakuelewi. Sio mtu wote anajua kizungu. Sio mtu everybody ubaye kona light skin mzungu kutoka England. Watu wa Germany hawajui kizungu. Watu wa Italy hawajui kizungu. Wewe unajua kizungu kuliko wao. Very few know kizungu. Kwa hivyo communication is a problem. So how do you make it easier? Know how to read these numbers. And they are there on your ticket. They are there on your ticket. So when you say D30 to D47, so if your number is a D34, ama ni D41, ama ni D46, iko within that range. Kwa hivyo unaona hii arrow pahali inaelekeza wewe, unafuata hiyo. Itakupeleka how you are going. So after you have confirmed that, make sure that you check your boarding counter. The boarding counter is very, very important. Why? Because that is the one which is going to help you to be able to know where you are going to go next. You know, this is a ticket, the way it is for those people who have not had any experience it. No, this is the boarding pass. Sorry, not ticket. This is a boarding pass. Ina kuonyesha flight number, the seat number, the gate ile utaingilia, and the group. Is in this group 4 now is the way of saying that mnakuja kwa ndege kulingana na vile seat zenu ziko, do you make it easier? So sometimes when you check in, unapewa ticket the first flight number from here to Europe, let's say France, Paris, then from Paris to the US. And in the US, you are also changing the flight, because you can land in one airport like New York, then you connect another one to go to Texas or to Dallas or to wherever you're going. So either can give you 3 tickets, or you get the next ticket when you land into the next airport. That's a bit tricky if you are the first time, because also there's queuing. You don't know where you're going. So that's become a bit tricky. So what I do is that I help people when they want to book for an air ticket to choose which is the easier way to travel, which is not going to give you a lot of headache. So this is very important. I would like you to take it to consideration when you're going. Now, umeland, and you are going to, let's say you are going to get D number 10. Your gate D10 is where you are supposed to board. So how do you go? Ukifika hapa sasa, because utapata hizi mbili. Kuna gates D20 to D37 na gate D7 to D18. Lakini you want D10. Which direction do you go? Can I get response? Some feedback? Someone?
Right side.
From my right.
On your right. Thank you. Thank you very much. See, here there are 2 alleyways. Kuna moja inaenda on the left, kuna ingine on the right. So hii unaona ya D7 to D18, number 10 iko in between there. So these are the only things you take. Just look at those numbers. Look at those numbers. Usiulize mtu akwambia ati hawajui. So hawaelewi kizungu. So where do you unajua kizungu? Lakini wao hawaelewi lugha yako. So these ones make it very easy. It's all about numbers. So hiyo umeenda pande hiyo, umeenda D10. So once you have, after you confirm where you're going, and umefika huko, normally the unit, you see, those numbers, you have also to check which unit are you in, because each unit has got those numbers. So you must be in unit 1 or unit 2 or unit 3, or some of them could be unit A or B and C. Then you get there. Then you are following the signs as you are boarding. Now, sorry, nimerudi nyuma. Hapa ndio kizungumkuti. So kama hukupata ticket ya kukupeleka the next destination. After France, I was going to the US, and I was landing in Boston. Then from Boston, I was going to Baltimore. Now we land for me to be able to know which flight I'm going to take to Boston, you come to this board. You look at the flight number. That's why I said your flight number is very, very important. Very important. Ndio taangalia hapa flight number. Ndio uone what time it is going. Itakwambia kama iko delayed ama iko on time. Then itakwambia which is the gate. Because those gates can change. This board is very important because it gives you the current indication on where, because the airport, they can change some, like now when there's a time I went through Schiphol Airport in Denmark, and there was a very big problem of the arrangement in the airport. In fact, most flights were actually being delayed there. So it was chaos. So if you get yourself into such a mess, what do you do? What do you do? This board is updated. So if there's any change, if there's any delay, if there's any problem, it comes in here. So for you to come here, look at the flight number. When you see the flight number, it indicates the time and also which gate you'll be boarding from. This is very, very important. Now the problem is that these names here, they keep on shifting because they roll. So you must be quick. No, Kenyans, we are slow. Unaenda pale kwanza, watu wengine wako na eyesight problem, eh? Kwa hivyo ukisoma hizi namba unaona vile iko na ziko nyingi za kuintimidate na uko tense. So kuachwa na ndege is rahisi, eh? You can be left there in the airport. Hello? So you have to be very careful. So you need to learn how to read things quickly. Quickly. Shida hata ile mtu mko naye next ukimuuliza hakuelewi. Aja kuignore. Kwa sababu wale tunakuanga na hiyo sensitivity, ati watu ni racist. Kama ni mzungu umeuliza na haja kujibu, haja kuelewa. But they take it positively. I like being positive. Because when you take it negative, tena uni racist mwingine, uni Trump. Itakuingia kwa, it is going to get to your nerves. If it get to your nerves, I'm telling you, you'll be paralyzed. Na hautaweza kuendelea, utakuwa na shida. So hii board is intimidate. Why just look? Usiangalie hapa na uangalie hapa na hizi columns. It's the same. They are not different because they keep on rolling. Ukikuwa hapa wewe, angalia hii yako hapa so that you are able to concentrate. And you're looking at the number. Don't look at the name. Look at the number, it's easier. Unaangalia flight number yako, ukiona, then you read hot time and hot gate. All that information is here. So it becomes very, very important. So you'll always be seeing this. Ukifika, tafuta hii. Na ukishaipata, unajua where you're going. It's also good to be familiar with it. Just Google during the flight, in flight, unaangalia the signs. All these signs are very important because they indicate to you where you can get services. Like now, if you want to go to airport, information, you see where this sign. Those signs are very, very important because they are there for everyone. It's a sign that you read, not the words, because akiandika na Chinese hautaelewa. Kama imeandikwa na Kizungu na alphabet, Chinese hataelewa. For having everybody, they use signs. Signs. So read this, understand it. When you're from Nairobi to go to France, you go for 8 hours. So you have a lot of time kwa ndege, utakuwa umesoma hizo vitu, familiarize yourself. And you can even start now when you're here. Be reading these things because already you have made your decision by now that you want to go Maju. So start planning for that. So note, start by confirming your boarding gate on the notice board. And the reason why is because it can change from what was initially indicated. If it changes, you change with it. You must be conscious about time of departure because this is very quickly. When you're booking flight, I normally tell people, personally, what I do is that I like layover time to be more than 2 hours in any airport. 2 hours. Because when you have a short span of time, you can get delayed unaachwa na ndege. Ukiachwa na ndege sijui utarudi Nairobi, ama utatafuta ingine ile inaenda next, ama utafanya nini? Hello. You have trip kind of boat. Utaambia watu namna gani na walikuzidikisha na wakati umeenda Maju. Alafu umeachwa na ndege umerudi. What do you tell people? So please don't get into that state. I want to help you to avoid those embarrassments. You must be cautious about time of departure and you seek quickly to go through the airport security checks. Airport security checks are very, very important. Munatoanga mshipi, munatoa any coins kwa mfuko, unatoa nini viatu, karibu uambiwe utoe guo. So, karibu uambiwe utoe guo. This is why they are very embarrassing. They embarrass you. Lakini uzuri ya kunanga ati choice, Hakuna mzungu, hakuna mtu mweusi, hakuna muhindi, kila mtu anapitia the same. So hiyo, unless you're going through the diplomatic channel, kama ni ingine ya kawaida, you are treated the same all of us. Kwa hivyo hiyo ni sawa. So make sure that you don't go fast ati ukakunywe Starbucks coffee na hujamalizana na mambo ya security. Starbucks hakuna pahali inaenda. Hata pahali inaenda unaipata. Kwanza ni ya huko. If you're going to America, wachana na Starbucks kwanza. Wewe maliza mambo ya security kila kitu, and also go and identify your boarding gate so that ukikuja kukunywa coffee hautakuwa na shida. So flight transfers, when you're transferring from one plane to the other, this is very, very important. So you need to know this thing on Google. Try to learn more about how to change transfers. Then you can now go to take coffee. Once you go, take coffee it's always there. So afadhali uache coffee halafu hautachelewa. Now, the reason why you're going to the Americas is that already the government has said that they have negotiated. This is the PS labor, Florence Bori. I think there are more than 15 countries where Kenyans can seek employment. More than 15 countries you can seek employment, including the United Kingdom, United States, Germany, United, but hata sisomi tu zingine, US imekuwa mentioned. This is the minister talking to us. So if you want, you can go for it. Lakini now, just very quickly, let's ask ourselves, for the people that you know, wewe unajua wewe, who are in the US, how did they go to the Americas? Did they get a job fast? How did they go to America? What was the reason for going? What is their status? They are mixed. There's a mixture. But for sure, the majority of Kenyans in the US are not doing business there. Most of the Kenyans in the US are not doing business. They are among the most sought after workers. Most Kenyans are very respected for the job. Like now in healthcare, those people who are doing caregiving, those who are nurses, they're very respected because they do a very good job. I used to go to US. When I go to DFE airport in Dallas, I get Patrick. Patrick was working in the airport there those days. And he was the one who was actually receiving people. So nikifika kule, mimi niko nyumbani. Tunaanza kuongea Kikuyu. So I feel very good when I'm there. So I used to like that airport because napata yeye huko. So how did most Kenyans get to the US? Very quickly. Who know who this one is? Someone? Okay. Who knows who this one is?
Okay.
You are being talked about.
And who knows who this one is?
Professor Makau Mutua.
Aha. Yes, thank you very much. So what does he do in America?
He's a lawyer. But he has his business in Villa Park in Kitui.
Huh?
He's a lawyer. And he has a villa.
This guy is a
Villa Park.
He's actually he's a professor in a university. He's a HOD in Sunny. So he's actually a trainer there. So Kenyans, I mean, who knows who is this?
Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o.
Thank you. Ngugi wa Thiong'o. You know, you can see the kind of Kenyans we have. No, we have got big Kenyans who are in the US. Na wengine wanaregarega hapa tetoi kwenda US. Kama watu wote wameenda huko. But this one is Professor Maina Kenyati. Professor Maina Kenyati. You see, the big brains that we have in this country, the big brains are there. Kenyans are very well represented in the Americas. So wewe kama unakatalia hapa ama unaona haya kwenda Amerika, wewe endelea tu kuona haya. Kama watu huko, wewe ndio nani? Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o na vile he's patriotic. All these are patriots and they love Kenya by the way, and they contribute a lot when they're there. So I want to show you that your patriotism, kama ndio nakuweka hapa, you can think something else. My coach Kenya Nganga, and he's the one who coached most of us. Alifainisha hapa kaenda huko, hata yeye kama juu, and he's doing very well. So America is a land of all opportunities. Si ya kusema tu na mdomo, ni ukweli. All these people could not be in America. Professor Musere Mogo, and may the Lord rest her soul in peace. Hata alisema azikwe huko. Musere Mogo, and she's a foremost patriot. Alizikwa huko. This year, she died and she was buried there. So you can see that Kenya and America, we have got a very close relationship. Sio wewe peke yako. Sio wewe peke yako. My co-host, can you read for me this? Unmute, you're on mute, you're on mute.
I've unmuted.
Okay, now we can.
One of the participants today is actually in the US. Yes, I don't know. You can briefly talk. Kenyua, are you hearing me? Kenyua,
yes, I can hear you, but I didn't want to talk. It's my first time, so I wanted to listen.
Okay, you can listen, Kenyua. So Jane, read for me this. And karibu sana, Kenyua, we are happy to have you here. I am telling people to come and join you guys there because I tell them that you guys are doing very well. By the way, Kenyans, they live well. They live well. Kusema ukweli. So, usikatalia hapa na tumepewa nafasi. The government has created a way for us. And I'm creating now that opportunity for you. You can change your location from here to there and you contribute to building this country when you're out there. Jen, read for me this.
Okay, once you decide,
Yes.
Once you decide you want a good life, the universe will start moving things for you to have it. The people you need will happen. The doors you need will open, will unlock, but not until you decide. Once you truly, sincerely decide, miracles will happen.
Thank you. For sure, it starts here. It starts here. You know, the problem we have in Kenya, most people are paralyzed by fear. Hata kufikiria tu inawezekana, they only think about vile iwezekani. And for sure, what you think about is what you invite. So if you think it cannot happen, it will not happen. How now? How now? Decision time. Now I want you to decide. I'm not going to be doing these talks anymore now. Nimefika mwisho. So today I'm explaining how you're going to go the other side. I'm going to hand you to Patrick so that Patrick can explain to you how things happen when you land the other side. So now, once you decide that you want a good life, and a good life, you have to look for it. Haitakukuja ikufuate pahali huko. The universe has a way. God aligns the stars to give you what you want, your heart's desires. But you must want it. Mungu will not want it for you. Kama kuendelea kupata hiyo kama mshahara ya 50,000, sijui 100,000 in Kenya shilling, ukiconvert. Now when you convert 100,000 na Kenya shilling, hiyo ni pesa ngapi surely? Na unakatwa tax. Na vile tax imekuwa mingi hapa. Na vile cost ya kila kitu imeenda juu hapa. Honestly. Anyway, lakini the choice is yours. Anyway, I'm not going to decide for you. Me, I'm going to kupatia the opportunity to explain this because the chief hustler ametengeneza njia yetu sisi kwenda majuu. Kama utaki kwenda, wewe sawa, wewe kaa hapa hali huko, endelea vile unafanya. But if you decide, the people you need will happen. They just happen. Hata ujuagi, by the way. You know, the universe has a way of bringing the right people to your way. So long as you know what you want. The doors you need open, you just unblock. They just unblock. But not until you have decided. And you need to do it sincerely. And you need to own it. And you need to believe in it. And the rest will just happen. It just happened. I had shared these jobs that are available, jobs that you can do in the US when you're a beginner, when you're non-skilled. There are two levels. There are skilled workers and unskilled workers. Skilled and unskilled. Non-skilled is the easiest. They have the easiest entry point because all what you need is an employer. The other side. Like now, Kenya is in the US. If Kenya can talk with a company there that cannot get employees to work for them there, what the law in America says that that employer, if they advertise for the job for 3 months and nobody is applying, they go to the Ministry of Labor there. And they say that we've been looking for these people to come and work for us that we cannot get. The Ministry of Labor will confirm. Then they will now do their work the way they do for the numbers. Then they'll give the employer the no objection to recruit from outside. And you can Google EB3 visa, non-skilled for non-skilled workers, because EB3 also have got skilled workers and unskilled workers. That allows employers to trigger the process. So they get people who meet the requirement. And non-skilled, if the job you are doing requires less than 2 years to train to do it. If you train for more than 2 years to do that job, you become a skilled worker. So the terms and conditions change. And that's why I'm listing these waiters, hotel room cleaners, lawn mowers, drivers, barbers, and tunaendelea tu, saloonists, caregivers, old people's home, our people wako na challenges, hospitals, CNAs who support nurses, plumbers, housekeepers, electricians, security officers, all those, they qualify for that. These are jobs that any Kenyan can do, so long as you train in a college that is state approved in the US. And you see, for now, training in the US, before it was a bit challenging, sababu wanasema lazima ukuwe trained in your college in the US. Na uwezi train kama hujapata visa. But now COVID ilikuja kusaidia, because training now you can do it when you're in Kenya. The old idea of a teacher is obsolete. Obsolete. It is no longer working. The internet and mobile devices is how people are learning. Hello? Wakati wa COVID, the 2 years of COVID, 2020 and 2021, people are still learning. The classes hawakuwa naenda class. Walikuwa nasoma namna gani? Last year I went to the US and I went to a college in Oklahoma State called Oklahoma College of Healthcare, Inc. 80% of our learning was online. 80%. So only 20 was practical. So learning is happening online. So usiulize ati sasa hiyo college certificate natoa wapi? No, go online. Just go online. Now usome. Alafu ukiqualify, apply for the jobs, and you can get now people who can help you. Patrick is in the US, though he has come visiting here, but he's in the US, and he's committing himself. I can say this before he come and talk. He's committing himself to help Kenyans from the US side. So we want to party. Goal number 17 of SDGs is about creating partnership. Like now, Kenya Azima Institute is in partnership with the Oklahoma College of Healthcare, Inc. So I brought the training here at home to make it easier for our people, because ukienda pande ile kuna accommodation pahali utalala, kuna movement to school and out of school, na kuna hiyo other out of pocket expenses, kuna school fees, na huko ni juicy kama hapa. You can just Google and see how much they're charging for the same course that we charge in $500 hapa sisi in Nairobi. And you see now here it's home. Also, the advantage here is that the accent. Patrick was explaining. Hata unajaribu kusikiza hiyo kizungu ushiki. Can you imagine go class? Na wewe kwanza hujaisoma hii mambo ya healthcare. Hizo majina za healthcare usijui. Na unafundishwa na mtu kuna accent ingine. Uelewa, una strain. Nikasema, let me bring it home. Tusome na our own accent. Even the trainers I have in the US, I only engage trainers who are Kenyan. Kenyans in the US, they become our trainers, because there's a barrier, language barrier, makes people fail. So we want to overcome that barrier by having our own people to train us so that you're able to qualify for this job, so that we don't want to let our president down. We appreciate the job he's doing actually to help us to get these jobs, and we want to go for them. So it is upon you now to decide what you want to do, because sit down here. If you go through an agent, because I know also the problem you're having that most Kenyans are having financial challenges. Even in our college, there are some people even to pay the fees is a problem. The $500 peke yake. Mimi nashindwa sasa ikifika mambo ya ticket ya kwenda huko. Sababu hiyo sio $500 na sio $1,000 na sio $1,500 na dola bado inaenda juu. So when you're traveling, but for air ticket to go to US, it cannot be anything below $1,500 unless you book for a long, the longer day of travel, the cheaper it will be. And also season, the season. The considerations, they are luxuries. When you want to go and work, unajiuliza, okay, how much money I'm going to earn per month? Ukiona how many dollars you'll earn per month, alafu unasema tungojee mpaka wakati ticket itakuwa cheap. Is that logical kweli? Are you doing the right calculations? Are the numbers adding up? We lipa hiyo inalipishwa, alafu wewe ufanye kazi huko urudishe hiyo pesa. You are going to recover. Inarudi. So what I want us to do is that I want us to help Kenyans who can't afford, because I know watu wamefinyilika. And this is where now you get your help. If you go through an agent, a recruiting agent, they pay for you to meet the cost, then that money is recovered when you're working the other side. They are enabling you. They are enabling you to go and work. Because the job iko, umepata job, na ukienda pande ile ingine itakatwa kwa mshahara yako by the employer. They have a contract. That agent must be a US agent because they have got a contract with the government, with the employer on the other side, and it's actually legal, so that at least now you pay their money. If you do, you now get bonded. You can't leave that employer that you went to before you have completed paying back the money that helped you to go there. And this is actually a legal arrangement. Even nurses, not now, our nurse is a skilled worker. We also have a similar arrangement with another partner of Azima. But that one, you're not a partner, we are agents. So they're the one who are doing that. And now to Nurse Inc. Their office is in Westlands, in Madonna House. So what we do is that if you get a nurse who wants to go and work in the US, they help them, they finance them, because it does not come cheap. They finance them. Then when you go the other side, your money is deducted. So if you leave that employer before you have paid their money, you'll be flagged. You can't work anywhere in the US. US system is very well connected. So don't play games, tafadhali. Don't play games, because if you do, you'll be caught up. And then when you're caught up, you're going to have problems. So I want you to listen from the people who have gone through the system, because me wenda narudi. I don't want to pretend to know what I don't know. I don't want to pretend to be an expert of what I'm not an expert, but I've shared what I know. I have been sharing every week. Now I'm finishing. So I do not mind. The people who are ready now, Jane, can you read for me this? Read for me.
1 minute. Never worry about numbers. Help one person at a time and always start with the person nearest to you. This is Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa of Calcutta. Are you ready? Because I want the person who is ready now. Who is ready is the one I'm going to go with. Let me help the one who is ready. A quick example.
Yeah.
So please, if you are ready, come tuanze na wewe. Then the rest, we are going to follow what you are doing. So there are no limits in what you can do. I want now to invite Patrick, because Patrick is now umepita hiyo airport, umefika US now. After you have now boarded the plane from France, umefika, let's say una land in a New York airport, New York International Airport, umeland huko. So what do you do from there? What do you expect from there? So I want you to be able to get this clear in your mind, and what you need to do and not to do from somebody who has done it, and how now you get the documents once you have gone out, or you cleared, you are out of the airport, then you go where you are living, where you are staying, how you get now the documents there to get into the American system. Yes, umeenda kule kukaa, hauendi kule kutembea kama vile mimi huenda natembea narudi Kenya. Umeenda kule kuishi huko na kufanya kazi huko. Already you have a letter of appointment, unaenda kazi. So, and again, the good thing is that once you go through the EB3 visa, you don't require a work permit. When the employer was requesting for authority to employ from outside US labor market because they don't have workers, the records were done so that they can allow you to go there and work. So you not have waiting time, because the waiting time can be long. There is somebody who had asked if visitors can work with a visitor's pass. The process is very long, because yes and no. Yes, because if you apply for a work permit, it can be accepted or declined. That's another story for another day. So how did you go to America as a visitor? You want to work, you need a work permit. If you have no work permit, you cannot work. So how do you get a work permit? So that's a story for another day. I have not done that personally. So I don't know the process where it goes. So let's hear it from Patrick, who has got a better understanding of that, so that we can be able to get up close and handy. So, Brother Patrick, I want to welcome you now to help us understand better how things go on the other side. Ukishafika huko US, mtu ameingia kwa airport ya US na akona visa ya kuingia ya kila kitu kiko sawa. Akifika huko, wewe wakati ulikuwa unafanya kazi ya airport, what were you people doing? Unajua ulikuwa unakupata huko kwa airport. Now you were actually the one who was helping people to get over that. Take it up from there. Unmute, mute. Patrick, you're on mute. Patrick, you're on mute. Unmute your mic.
Okay, can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, you can. We can now. We can hear you.
Okay.
Hello, we can hear you.
Thank you. I'm saying I have only a few minutes to cover the whole area because I mean the whole thing is rather long, but I will do my best to see how much I'm able to disseminate to the people who are listening. Now, maybe I must first mention one or two things which you passed through. One, that it is important to go to the airport if you're flying 2 hours before the flying time. That is always, indicated on the ticket, so it should be there. Two, don't overburden your bags because there are limits to the weight of the bags that can go into the plane. And if you exceed, then of course you'll pay through the nose. They charge you high. All right. You're flown, now you come to, maybe you go to New York, JFK International Airport. Maybe you have come through KQ. KQ flies from Nairobi to JFK direct without non-stop, 16 hours, and there you are. That is a port of entry. They call it the port of entry, and that is where you're going to be checked, whether you are coming to the USA legally or illegally. You must have your passport ready there with you and all your documents. Maybe that invitation letter where you're going to go through the customs. When you go through the customs, you're going to get a guys who are, what you all are like, of course, you have been categorized. The Americans have followed their own door, and the others with the diplomatic passports, they don't use the same exit. You use the ordinary exit for immigrants or visitors or whatever you call. It also depends on how you come to America. And as he has said, America is for everybody. It's not for a particular group. You say, oh, no, you are also a part and parcel. Because everybody who came there to America must have been a migrant at one time or the other, or the parents, whatever. Otherwise, the Native Americans are very few now left, and they have been sent to some places, to some restricted area that where they stay, and that's a story for another day. So, once you get through the customs, you have convinced them that you are there legally. You have, and maybe they also insist on when you're going back, because normally. It is indicated in your ticket. But if you are going to work, you might have only one-way ticket. That is, you can buy one-way ticket because you don't know what other time you're going to come back. And therefore, once you pass the customs, you go to the place we call the bag collecting area. That is, you call it, there is a big, huge circular revolving container, and with some conveyor belts bringing all the bags from the planes and then dropping them there, and then they keep on going round and round. You call them the carousels. The carousels is where you stand, and when you see your bag, you pull it out. Normally, that is why sometimes it is advisable to have a distinctive mark on your bag, because sometimes the bags, look alike, and you might, waste a lot of time by the time you get into your own bag. So, but when you have something that is very conspicuous, that maybe a ribbon or something or colored, you see the bag quickly and you can be able to pull it out. Once you pull that out, well, of course, they will also go through the screening to see whether you have brought anything that is alien. There are some things that you are not allowed to bring to US. Don't bring the pesticide or kitu kama ndumu ama hiyo. You are not allowed to do that. And if you have anything that they think is alien, you better declare, because if you don't declare and they are caught, then you can be in trouble. And I remember one time, one lady came. She had some this food, Nigerian food. They call it fufu or something. She had come. She was coming to celebrate with the grandchildren, so she did not declare that she had this food in the baggage. So when it went through the screening, of course, it was found. And then she was told, now, what do you know? You are not going to live here because you lied that you didn't have these things, and you have them. So there are two options. Pay $300 as fine, or you go to jail because you are trying to, to bring things that are not allowed. That is in the same category as drugs. So fortunately, the daughter was there, so she was able now to pay the fine. And of course, they forfeited the food. They cannot take the food in. So there are things that are not allowed. Anyway, but of course, you can carry Bajani chai. That is the most important thing that you cannot find in America easily. So that is hata kama una mtu kwenda kumtembelea America, the most thing that you can valuable you can buy is ketepa, a bag of tea, and Bajani chai, because that is that is a Kenyan kind of thing. The type of tea bags that they sell there are not what you call tea. Sometimes they have been watered down, so when you take it, you don't feel like a tea. Well, after that, then you are cleared, then you take your bag. You are now walking out of the airport. You must have a host. Whoever is coming to pick you there now will pick you from that point if you have a host. If you don't have a host, then you have an address where you're going. If you have nobody picking you, then you pick a taxi. Hakuna matatu huko, so you don't say I'm going to take a matatu anyway. So, and there are two types of taxis. You have the Uber. You might not use the Uber because maybe you don't have the app on your phone, but you use the regular taxi. They are a bit more expensive. They are more expensive than the Uber, but it will take you to a destination. So once you get down there, if you're going as a worker, as Mr. Azimio has said, Mr. Man has said, you don't have the hassles of looking for those documents. But if you have to look for those documents, then you have to start from the scratch. The first thing that you must have, which is the key, is Social Security number. Social Security number is the life and death of anybody in America. So it's just like your ATM, you call it ATM what? Number, ama ile mnaita number ya M-Pesa, ile secret number. That is the one that opens all the other door. And then if you have, I'm assuming that you are legally there, you will just need to go to the Social Security facility, and then from there they will issue you with that number. If you have the document, and then I am assuming, because if you are going there as already an immigrant worker, you don't have to do that. You apply for that number is applied when you are applying for the visa. So by the time you apply, you already have the social security number with you. So you don't have to, because this is a number that you use for taxation. If you want to have the insurance, if you want to buy a car, if you want to go to the driver's license, all these. Without it, there's nothing you can be able. You cannot move unless you cannot open a bank account. You cannot. So that is a very, very important piece of document which you have. Then after that, you need what you call an ID card, because you will not be carrying your passport all the time. Because each time you maybe you meet with security guys, and maybe they might want you to identify yourself. You have to show them, here you are, here is a passport, and then they can also look at it and see on it and see that you have a visa, you are validly there. So you'll be good, but that is rare unless there's some kind of a problem. The policeman will not ask you for that. Normally they don't ask for those things, but if there's a breach of law somewhere, then they might want to see whether you are there, whether kama ni mtu ya kulala ile tunaita komerera, or you are there legally. So how do you get the ID? It varies from state to state, because that is a state thing. There's not what you call an ID for the US. That is different. Maybe that is a green card. But the ID, for example, if you're in Texas, you'll go to DPS, that is the Department of Public Safety, and then there they will give you a card. That card, which doubles up as an ID and also as an interim driver's license. Interim driver's license. That is, you could drive, but you cannot drive alone. That is, you are a driver under instruction now. You will need to have somebody who is a competent driver, already a qualified driver, to be by your side as you drive. And then you use that as your ID. Of course, after you have mastered the driving and whatever the laws and whatever, you are also given a book to read about the traffic and what have you, the traffic offenses and whatever, and the do's and don'ts, and you're able to drive on the road, then you can go for the driver's license test. That is another thing. Then when you have a driver's license, then that one is also your ID and also a driver's license. In another state, they have two things. For example, let me talk about the neighboring state to Texas, we call the Oklahoma. Oklahoma, first you'll have to, before you get the driver's license, you have to go get an ID. Of course, how do I know where to get this thing? Your phone is your bank. Your phone is your immediate helper, even before you ask anybody. If you want to know where to get an ID, you just Google it. You say the nearest place to get ID. Itakuambia, simu itakuambia, iko hii distance, it will show you the direction. It will also show you when it opens, what time it is open, and when it closes down, whether they are closed on Saturdays or not. It will give you all the information you need. So it should not be a problem. And then, of course, when you work there, they will also show you, of course, sometimes people, they charge a certain fee, which you pay. And of course, they process you. But don't try kitu kidogo. Hakuna kitu kidogo. If you try that one, you'll be in trouble. If you try to bribe your way up the Kenyan way, pole sana, you'll be in trouble. Because that is not, it is legal. And it is very, very alien. So please don't try it. Don't even put it in your brain. So now, here you are now armed with a document. that is a license to allow you to drive. Once you have that driver's license, you can now drive in all states in America. But maybe when they expire, when the duration of the license expires, you have to go back to your state, or home state. That is where you pick the license from, and then you renew from that. Sometimes, most of the time, actually, they prompt you through mail. They tell you your ID, your driver's license is about to expire. You need to do ABCD. You can get this one, another one. Maybe online, sometimes you don't have to go. Maybe you have just to send the fee, and then you send you back. You send a new one. Or if you are elderly and you think that you are almost becoming dangerous driving on their roads, then they ask you to go there physically, so that you can go and do test whether vision or whatever, see whether you're able to drive on the road safely. So, and then you hit the road. Once you hit the road, that is very important, because sometimes whenever you are working, and you are now allowed to work in the US, you only work for 40 hours a week. That is the standard practice for all the workers. Sometimes you might want to work, they might want you to do overtime, and of course they pay you 1.5 times. But sometimes the overtime is not there, because people prefer, if they have more workers, they would rather have more workers than pay overtime, because they pay more tax to the government. So they prefer not to offer the overtime, purchase, unless they have to. But you still have so many hours left in a week that you could utilize. You don't want to sleep all those hours. You are a driver, you have a good car, maybe you have picked a car, maybe copper, because normally American people live with the copper. You copper, you go, once you have the bank account, and then they say that you are a good guy, then they can tell you, all right, well, chukua gari, you will be paid. You have a regular job, the pay is coming through here. And then you have a good car. If you have a good car, then you go and register yourself with the Uber. You start earning. You start, carrying people. So long as you can use your phone, the GPS. Mtu akisema anataka Kibera naenda Chariboyo, then you know how to get there. So those are some of the part-time kind of job that you can do. Because in America, don't be cheated. There's no free money. You have to work. You have to work. That's how you can make money. Because if you rely on what you are earning, you might end up just do what you call living from hand to mouth. Your pesa unapata unagawa inakwisha, and then you have nothing. After 2 years, you have nothing to show for it. But if you go that extra mile, that is, you're able to do overtime, that you are able to take a side job, maybe in a fast food place that maybe they sell food. You know, in America, sometimes you just pass through. You call them pass through places where you go and say, "Hey, I want the chicken and one hamburger." And then you are driving through. By the time you get to the other side of the building, you are whatever you needed. Your order is already catered for, and you just swap with your card and you go. Card is the language there of currency. Hakuna pesa taslimu pana. You normally use a card, credit card. But if you have your Kenyan card and it has money in it, and even the Visa, you still can use it before you get to the American bank credit card or debit card. There are two types. Kuna debit na kuna credit card. You don't get credit card immediately. They want you first to see how your flow is, and then they can trust you now. They give you a credit card. Maybe they tell you they give you a limit. Maybe they tell you, okay, we can only allow you to use up to $1,000. All right, so that you are able to pay at the appointed time. For example, they say on 2nd of every month you clear what you have on there, what you have carried, and then you start After some time, when they see that you are not defaulting, then they increase your range from 1,000 maybe to 2,000. And then you can keep on building that until you come to 5,000, 6,000, depending on how well you are able to manage your own finances. Well, that is a card you normally use. When you go to the petrol station, there's nobody to come and fuel your vehicle. You are the person to go and fuel your vehicle. You just have to have your card. You go slot it in the machine, in the dispenser, and then of course it tells you, okay. Most of the people, we don't say no. What you do is you just put the card and then unafungulia kitu inaweka inajaza, and then it stops and you go, because you never. It is very hard to guide somebody at mtu amesimama barabarani kwa sababu ya petrol. No, you don't do that. You always fill your car, because one, petrol is also cheap. Also there, it's not as expensive as it is here. So that is the card you use there. That's the card you go to the barber, kutengenezwa nywele, you use the same. You go to the supermarket, that's what you will do. All places that you go to is very hard. People don't carry money. It's very rare to see people, somebody is changing money, dollars, in cash. Because as Mr. Azimi was saying, they don't accept. I remember when I was working in the airport, people would come to buy tickets. And we would tell them, now, you have this money, now go to that machine, buy a credit card equivalent to the money that we're going to come in, so that you come and pay using that card. So, you see, what they want to do, even in the offices, they are trying to move away from paper handling. You don't handle paper, because they say, particularly when the COVID came in, there was a nearly total, discarding of, touching papers. Even the people in the office, you use the phone, you use the computer. That was the mode of communication, because you don't want the letters, because you might be able to transmit this copy stuff. So they say they want a paperless situation where you can be able to transact without necessarily exchanging paper. So when you have the credit card, you have to be very careful, because there are also people who can hack that same card, that credit card, and you end up being, fleeced. I remember one time I got a call from my bank. They told me, well, we are suspecting that your card is being misused, because somebody in California has bought some good worth, I don't know, I remember 400 things, and then another one, and said, "Are you the one, or are you the one doing that?" I said, "I'm not going to California, so that is not me." So of course, what they do, okay, they just cancel that the transaction, and they block that card, and they tell you to wait for a new card. They give you another card now, because they know that one has already been hacked. And that is very common. That is very common. So you have also to be very careful that people don't know. Just as I said, also the social security number, you don't let everybody, Tom, Dick, and Harry know your social security number. The only person who will be able to see, maybe a government officer, maybe in the hospital, maybe the employer, all right? Maybe your bank. Those are the ones who you show. The others, even the employer will always ask you for the last 4 digits. They don't ask you the whole number, because once you display it, somebody can do a lot of damage to you. All right? Anaweza kwenda aitishe pesa, asema ni refund ya kodi, and by the time wewe ndio utachikwa. So I think it is it's time. I don't know whether I'm still on, or because I thought it is you are ending at 10. Bwana Azimio, are we still on? Hello?
Yes, we are on. We are on. We are on. We are on. You can just summarize now. It's already 10.
Okay.
It's summarize so that we do not go very far. I hope members are following up, and you can just summarize on the areas that are critical. Then we can find out. We can wrap it.
In summary, to summarize, I would say one, as Mr. Asmo is saying, don't be scared. Don't be scared. And everybody is out there to help you if you approach them. But don't remember always to say, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. That is very important. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. And when you address people, you address them to say, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. They also address you the same because it is cautious. And that way you'll be able to get along. 2, try and get your Kenya, if you can be able to. How do you get to know these people who are close to you? By looking at maybe you Google whether they have the Kenyan churches, and then they'll tell you on which Sundays they meet and where they meet. Then you can go there. Whether kama ni watu wa PCA, kama ni watu wa Catholic, kama ni watu wa all those ever. Then of course you get to know each other down that way, and then of course you can be able to. But I would advise, if you are going as a team, I have not spoken about housing. Maybe that is another subject for another day, which we'll be able to talk about. How do you settle? How do you go to a house? How do you get to an apartment and all that? But I don't want to go beyond the limit. I would say for now, I know there might be some questions. I don't know, maybe whether there's anyone who has a burning question, maybe I can answer 1 or 2, and then we'll be able maybe to fix some other time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Patrick, and we appreciate you. And let's appreciate him for sharing details. Let's appreciate him, and keep the questions coming. Anyone who has a question, a comment, you can keep them coming. So we know that we lost a bit of time when we were struggling with the line with the networks, but we have been able to get from Nairobi to the US, and also we have now the social security, we have the ID, and we are now, because we have the credit card. So we are settling. So take it out from there, Jane, so that any question, read the WhatsApp chat, and anybody with a question you can ask. Patrick is still available. He can be able to answer, and we'll see if we can have another session that will now go to a deeper level. But who is this who is ready to go to the US? Jane, take it up.
Okay, all right. The first question is, kindly mention how to handle visa interview and be successful. That's by Boniface.
Oh, okay. Would you like me to respond to you? All right. 1, interview it depends on you. First, you must be confident. You must be very confident when you go there. Be sure. 2, avoid, there's what we call eye contact. When you ask a question, let that person see you. Look him in the eye. That is for sure. And that is one of the tricks they use. Even if when you go for interview, this interview, you call it the visa interview.
Mm-hmm.
If you start, they ask you a question, you don't want to meet their eyes, they know that you are trying to create a lie. But when you look at them straight and then you answer, then they know that it is coming straight, it is genuine. So confidence is have the confidence to meet the person and have confidence that you know what you want, and then be passionate about what you want. I don't know what type of interview particularly you mean, which one, but I guess it is the visa interview.
Yes, that was from Boniface. Yes, I believe that's what he was asking.
Come again?
I believe that's from Boniface. I believe that's what he was asking.
Okay.
Yes, and that covers Kate's question. Why is it difficult to get an American visa? I guess that answers her as well.
Okay. American visa, yeah, it's difficult because you have to convince people, to convince them why you have to go there. Is there a need for you to go there? You can go there as a tourist. You can go there as a visitor. You can go there as a student. You can go there as an entrepreneur. Maybe you are going there to do some promotion. You can also go there as a business person. That is for a conference, all right, or for a business conference. So there are all these types of different types of visas. It depends on which one you are picking, because they know people. Mostly people go to pick the tourist. That is a B2, EB2H2, which is when you go there, you are a tourist. You are not supposed to go. You're just supposed to go and see the people and then walk around and come back or go home. But when people go there, they don't come back. So they stay there. They hide there, and then of course the government knows you are you are there, but they don't come for you so long as you don't get into problem with the law. All right. If you are lucky enough, you get a social security number and you are paying the taxes, endelea tu. Lakini siku hiyo tena nyumbani, you know that is the end. You'll never come back again. All right. Or the best thing you can do is get married there by an American. Then they will be able to file for you. Then you become a citizen. If you are not old enough to get married, and so it depends. I mean, it all depends on which category of visa you are looking for.
That's true.
I don't know whether that answered the question.
I believe it has. There is Lois who's asking, on the flight change, are you given ample time to reconnect?
Well. When you are on the flight, let me tell you one thing, maybe Mr. Azimio did not tell you. If you think you are not going to be able to manage to go to the next, to change the flight from this airport to the other one, unajifanya mjinga unasema unataka wheelchair. Is you are right. Okay? Is you are right at any time. That's how we get to the old so wale wanaenda America. You tell them, when I was upewa kiti from Nairobi, Kalia, you'll be taken to the plane. By the time you leave, where you are going to in Dubai, somebody will be waiting for you with your name. Okay?
Yeah.
Na kiti ingine atakuweka hiyo. Then he will take you to the other gate where you are supposed to go. And by the time you come again to DFW, that is in Dallas, you are flying now from Dubai to Dallas, you will get somebody waiting there with a chair with your name. All right? So atakuchukua, atakupeleka mpaka utoke nje. All right? So that is one way if you have a language barrier. Yeah. If you don't have a language barrier, then of course you can manage. I hope that answers.
I believe so. Faith is asking, what happens if you cannot connect to any flight? That is Faith.
If you cannot connect to any flight and you are already on transit, there is that airline where you booked. They have offices there. You go there, they will be able to make the next available airline for you. They will put you on the next available airline.
Wow.
You cannot be stranded there and stay there. No. Kama ulikuwa na Emirates, you see the Emirates guys there, they will be able to take you another. If it is Air France, if it is Lufthansa, if it is Delta or American Airlines, whatever, they will take care. They never abandon you, but you might take long.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's Andrew who is asking, can you start getting credit score when in Kenya so that by the time you get there, it's already okay?
I didn't get that. Can you repeat the question again, please?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
There's Andrew is asking, can you start getting credit score when in Kenya? So by the time you get there, it's already okay.
Credit card. No, but you have your credit card here. You have the Equity credit card ile mnaita ile unaendaga nayo kwa ATM, isn't it?
Anasema credit score, the score.
Oh, credit score.
Credit score, yes.
No, it's not possible.
Okay.
How do you get a credit score when you are not there? They want it to be in that system so that they can be able to gauge you against that system. Now they cannot gauge you against this system here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So I thought you were talking about the credit card or something like that.
No, it was a credit score. He wanted to find out about a credit
score. Okay, you know, credit score is to show you that how viable you are, how eligible you can be to be, so that you can get money or something like that. Your credit worthiness. That's what you call the credit card. Yeah.
Yes, that's what it is.
And you build that over time, a long time, the way you as you continue. You know what you
can I please quantify my question?
This is a good chair. This is a good sofa set. I know that they all want to kukupatia kwa deni, alafu wewe unalipa. So the way you pay.
Hello? I think he wants to add something. Andrew, go ahead.
I was saying.
No, actually, thank you, Patrick, for answering that. I just wanted to quantify my question and put it into context. The reason for asking about the credit score is because maybe if someone has a very good credit score in Kenya, is it possible to maybe have that reflected in the US system so that we don't have to start again from scratch there?
Excuse me, I don't think it is possible because one, you are basing your credit score on a different currency from the American currency.
Okay.
That is difficult, but I cannot say for sure it is not possible, but I think it is logically it is not possible because you are using a different mode of tabulation as compared to their tabulation.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right. The last question. There's a last one here. It's a bit. It says, "It's my first time here. Was wondering if there's an agency that helps people to get there, and if so, how much is the agent fee?"
Okay, let me tell you, say this: there are still talks between the Kenya government and the American government to actualize this one, because that is a very complex case. You have heard of cases of how people are getting mistreated when they go to Middle East. Some are coming in coffins and all that. I just read the other day somebody is Haiti or Lebanon and all that. If you look, so one, the agents, according to international standard, they are not supposed to charge anybody any coin.
Yes.
They are supposed to facilitate you. The employer will compensate them. You get me? But so far, we don't have a direct one that this is an agency that is making, catering for all workers in Kenya so that you can migrate workers from Kenya to the United States. No, so far, we don't have one, but it's somewhere in the pipeline. It's being, worked on. That's why you hear they are talking about all these things and well, I think it is in the pipeline, but for now, we can't say for sure. But if you go to any agency where we teach a pesa, that there's a question mark. Okay. But maybe what they will say, they will not tell you they're asking you for money. They will tell you maybe it is a medical charge or something like that. But it is not allowed. If it is genuine thing, they are not supposed to ask for your money.
Okay. All right, Bwana Patrick, I believe you've answered all the questions on the chat.
Yeah.
And so we want to give it back to Coach Maina.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I hope I have been helpful to the participant, and I'll always be ready to slot in any other new or any other question or any concern that so long as since I'm around here for the time being, I'll be available.
Wow.
Otherwise,
Wonderful.
thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you too.
Thank you very much. Let us appreciate him. Let us appreciate him for his open sharing. He has enriched us. At least now we have got somebody who has told us how things happen on the other side. Hakuna kitu ngumu hapo. Ni kitu gani umeona ngumu hapo sasa shwari? What is it that will limit you from taking this opportunity that exists for you to get the other side and settle down? So we are here to help you. We are here to ensure that your transition is going to be good, and everything, when you decide and when you pray and you take action, is going to happen. And from me, I want to tell you that lisamalo liko la kama halipo linakuja. So the government has done its part. Wewe sasa ndio unabaki wewe. So do what you want to do. All those jobs which I have listed and many others. I was just listing the low-hanging fruits, the low-hanging. Na zile nimewitness. Zingine ni nyingi, and you can take it up, and the opportunities are there. So don't fear any impediment. Don't fear any hitch. So whatever hitch there is, we are going to work around it. We are going to have many friends in the US who are willing to play their role. And when we work together, we are going to succeed and get more of you who are willing and who are in a situation to get there. But there is a disclaimer here. Make sure that when you are going to the US, you are not abandoning your people here. It's going to be done in the right way, because our work is not to break families. We don't want to break families. Our work is to help families. So if your family is going to suffer by your going, we will not be part of that. That one you need to know. And the final one, we are not, so far, Azima Institute is not a recruitment agent. I will refer you to the recruitment agent. There's somebody who have asked the recruitment agent who are taking people to the US. There is quite a number of them who have the licensing to do that. But now the problem they are having that, Kenyans wanapenda kitu kidogo. Na wanapenda kuitisha watu pesa. The US wakijua uliitisha the person money ambao unapeleka huko, your license will be cancelled. They will not allow you to do it. So I said, when you go through the agent, they even give you money. They organize for money to pay for you so that you can go and work. Then they deduct the money, because unaenda sababu hauna pesa, unatafuta ajira. Sasa akikuitisha pesa na wanaitisha those maelfu mamia, wanaitisha, utatoa wapi? So in Azima, we don't ask you for any coin. We only prepare you the training to get ready for caregiver. Hizo zingine zote we don't handle. Ukitaka kwenda kazi ya saloon, ukitaka kwanza kazi ya hoteli, ukitaka kwanza kazi ya gardening, kazi ya, we are not going to do that. Driver, we are not doing that, but they're available. However, for us, what you're saying is that we will facilitate you, we will guide you, and please Google, make Mr. Google your friend. Google knows everything and it can be able to guide you. Kwa hiyo mengi na machache, I want to say thank you very much for coming in. Already 20 past, and occasion another day, and we have other work. We have got other sessions early in the morning at 4 a.m. So we do not want to go past now. I would want to take it back to Jane to organize for us a prayer. And I say thank you very much for coming in and for staying through. I hope it was worth your time. And tell another person that this is real. They get interested. And we've got people who are working at every level, and Patrick is going to organize for us the other side, how ukifika huko unakaa wapi, unakula wapi, unaenda kazini namna gani, unapata hizo documents namna gani. Kenyans are good. The Kenyans in the US are very helpful. They organize themselves to make sure that the Kenyans who are landing there are landing in good hands, and they help you to settle more quickly. Kwa hivyo, fear not, because you have got your brothers and your sisters, and God is involved. Thank you very much. Jen, take it up, we do a prayer, and we call it a good night.
Okay, let us pray. Our Father and our God, we come before you again this evening in the mighty and precious name of Jesus Christ. Thank you, my Father, for this session that has been. Thank you for the way we've been enlightened. Father, we are praying, oh God, that everything we give us the desires, Jehovah God, to desire what is right, Jehovah. Give us the hearts to believe. Give us faith, oh Lord, to know that everything is doable, mighty King. So we want to thank you for the enlightenment that has taken place this evening. And we just want to fly out there and even be testimonies, Jehovah God, that this works. We thank you. Protect us throughout the night. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Asanteni sana. Asanteni sana. So thank you all and have a good night. Tupatane next Tuesday for another session that we will be able to, I will announce what the topic will be so that you can go in. But let the question keep coming. You can always reach me out on the WhatsApp. We normally have a WhatsApp that we have conversation every day. So if you join our WhatsApp chat, you're going to get more information